A dimly lit classroom with only a few students remaining. Papers are scattered on the desk, and Jamal sits alone, staring at his book with frustration. His phone is next to him, buzzing with notifications, but he ignores it. Jamal, muttering to himself, frustrated, "I've been studying for weeks, but I still don't get it. Maybe I'm just not meant for this." The classroom door opens, and Professor Adams walks in. He notices Jamal's frustration and approaches with a calm expression. "Professor Adams, Jamal still here this late?" Jamal, sighing, rubbing his forehead. "Yeah, Professor. I study, but nothing sticks. I just want to be smart already. Maybe some people are just naturally gifted." Professor Adams pulls up a chair, sits beside Jamal, and leans forward with a knowing smile. "Professor Adams, let me tell you something about Confucius, the great philosopher of China. He wasn't born smart either." A young Confucius walks through a dusty village street, dressed in simple, worn-out clothes. He knocks on the door of a rich scholar's house. Confucius, bowing respectfully, "Great scholar, I seek knowledge. Will you teach me?" The scholar looks at him, then laughs dismissively before shutting the door in his face. Scholar, mockingly, "A poor boy like you? You have no money, no status. Find another way to waste your time." Confucius had no teachers willing to help him, but instead of giving up, he taught himself. He studied whatever scrolls he could find, copied texts by hand, and observed the world around him. He didn't learn fast, he learned consistently. He believed that knowledge was more precious than gold, and so, with patience and hard work, he became the wisest man in China. Confucius didn't just learn, he taught. He traveled across China, teaching people about morality, discipline, and wisdom. His ideas were so powerful that emperors later used them to build their governments, shaping China's culture for thousands of years. Jamal leans forward, his frustration fading as curiosity takes over. Jamal, "Wait, so Confucius wasn't just a genius? He had to work for it?" Professor Adams, "Exactly," he once said. "It does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop. Your frustration comes from expecting quick results, but success is about patience and effort, not speed." Jamal stares at his book, tapping his fingers on the desk as he processes this new perspective. Jamal, thoughtfully, "I never thought of it that way. I keep comparing myself to others. Maybe I just need to focus on my own pace." Professor Adams smiles approvingly, placing a reassuring hand on the book in front of Jamal. "Professor Adams, that's the spirit. Knowledge builds over time. One day you'll look back and realize how far you've come." Jamal sighs, but this time it's not out of frustration. It's determination. He picks up his pen and turns a page, ready to try again. After that, Jamal made some changes and tried to improve himself. He studies for short but consistent periods every day. He stops checking his phone as frequently while studying. He asks more questions in class and starts participating. One night, he revisits an old problem that once frustrated him and solves it with ease. Jamal's expression lights up. He grabs his phone and types a message, but stops, smiling to himself instead, satisfied with his progress. The next day, Jamal walks confidently through campus. He spots Professor Adams and rushes to him. Jamal, excitedly, "Professor, I finally get it. That problem I was struggling with, I solved it today." Professor Adams pauses, then smiles warmly, nodding in approval. "Professor Adams, I knew you would. You just had to keep going." Jamal laughs, feeling a new sense of confidence and motivation as he walks off, ready to tackle the next challenge.